like 4 trusty machetes.
I want 4 trusty machetes, 4 giant scorpions, and 2 vampire nighthawk to go with all that. And like, okay, so like vampire nighthawk's unbeatable, but what about vampire nighthawk with a trusty machete?
Double unbeatable.
Yeah, like that's like twice as unbeatable.
Jeez.
All right, but yeah, so hello everybody. The format of the day today is flashback triple Zendikar.
Oh boy. I should pull up a zoo. We'll do that.
Yeah. I figure I'll wait in here since there's nobody, and I don't know how quick these are gonna fire, because I don't know how, you know, so Zendikar is sort of, what's a good word for it? Notorious? A bit of a notorious limited format.
Yeah, Notorious is pretty good. You only have a couple archetypes. You have like green X landfall
Yep.
with Harrow, which is an absurd spell in landfall. Mm-hmm. You have blue-eyed skies. I forget which thing. I remember getting run down by this, but I forget which.
Welkin turn.
Like, yeah, that's kind of the meat and potatoes of the deck. Just like flying piker.
Right. You have any number of different like black archetypes.
Yeah, like Black X, anything basically works. Black was very, very popular to the point where like a 5-mana 4/2 Swamp Walk was the breaker of the format
Yep.
because he was always unblockable. You have Kicker. You have a Planeswalker who's like
Oh god. All right. So let me show you.
belief.
Yeah. Let me read you Nissa here. This is Nissa's first appearance. Nissa starts at 2 loyalty, 4 mana, +1. Search your library for a card named Nissa's Chosen. Put it on the battlefield. +1. Gain 2 life for your elf you control. -7. Any number of elf creatures from your deck into play. I'm actually considering passing that for the GMP. like,
I mean, I think she's a trap.
yeah. That's why
Yeah.
that's why I'm considering
And
passing
not
her
the
for.
fun, thrilling kind of trap like Cobra Trap. I think like this is not a good Planeswalker.
No, I agree with you. I've played this in limited before. It's nice to have an endless 3/2 blocker, but I know every
It would be nice to have an endless 3/2 blocker, but instead we have an endless 2/3 blocker.
right.
Oh god, Goblin Shortcutter.
Yeah, I'm gonna go in and on the plated Geopede. Oh, they finally fixed it. The land's below the cut. So, goodbye, Nissa. Ooh, hello.
First Lightning's fine.
We have our first appearance of the Blazing Torch.
Blazing Torch, which makes no sense in this format at all.
It's weird because
Vampires are zombies, and it's like it gets its first printing, air quotes, in Innistrad.
right,
It's like, oh, huh?
it makes sense in Innistrad. It looks like it was printed in Innistrad.
Right.
Other cards of note in here: Adventuring Gear, the poorer Trusty Machete, but still,
Less trusty, but less trusty and less machete. Come to think,
Look at why is flying so offset on that? Like, did somebody like?
get out the way. You need to know.
Are the cards
You
like?
need to know this guy flies.
Somebody changed the spacing on all the cards.
Someone should check spacing.
Somebody needs to check.
I'm
Spacing.
mad.
All right. So anyway, burst.
Like the Windrider Eel is a real card too. We didn't mention.
Yeah, that's true.
Remind me what Cobra Trap does.
If a non-creature permanent under your control is destroyed, you can pay 1 for it, make 4 snakes. This is an anti-land destruction, anti-artifact destruction, etc.
Yeah, that's not relevant.
This entire pack is very irrelevant. Like, Spire Barrage is a bit too expensive. It could be fine if we were, like, basically mono red, because then it's just a thud, like...
Right. Do you want to pick Soaring Sea Cliff?
Thinking about that...
Wait, what does Armament Master actually do?
Core creatures you control get +2/+2 for each equipment on Armament Master, which means you have to be hyper core.
So he's a hard to cast grizzly bear. Got it.
Right. Because
Although we want step links.
I could take,
And
like, Territorial Baloth, or, like, Nissa's Chosen.
those are both okay. I don't know how well green red pair.
I'm gonna go with the Spire Barrage, because I know I'm in red.
Mm.
Alright. Ooh. So, black has a couple good cards hanging out here. Giant Scorpion and Heart Stabber Mosquito are both, you know, high power.
Yeah, they're decent.
Ruinous Minotaur is actually, like, fine. Again, nobody blocks in this format, so... Also, Vines of the Vastwood, incredible card. Oran Reef Survivalist, an incredible card.
This is tough
Right.
because there's a lot of good like extra directions to go here. Like even Core Sanctifiers is fine.
Yes. This is... I guess... Do we want black-red? Do we want green-red? I kind of want...
I want green red.
You want green-red?
Yeah,
I kind of want black-red.
let's do black red then.
Okay. I kind of like the Heart Stabber.
I was leaning towards the vines.
The Vines was the other card I would have picked on green, because I'm not going to pick... And then we get the other Vines.
More
And the Baloth Cage Trap. No, why would they do that? That'd be like... Makes sense. If I want to commit, I could pick up like Goldraw's Vampire. If I wanted to change off, I could pick up Vines.
How
here.
easily can we get them to 10 or less life?
In this format, I feel like it's not the hardest. Like, that's kind of the point, right? Like... But Vines is so powerful. And much more powerful than these two.
Yeah, I think vines is crazy good.
Let's do that. We'll see if something gets us a call.
Scythe Tiger.
Yeah, sack of land. Cards of note in here are really like Bloodchief Ascension and Raising Gladeheart. That's effectively the two that matter in here. Because Grazing Glade...
Quest for the gem blades. I forgot something so bad could exist.
Yeah. We have an instance of Hexproof and Shroud in the same set. Bloodchief seems hard for me to care about. I like Gladeheart because...
That's some like EDH combo deck stuff.
Whoa! Yo!
Shit! Are we actually in white?
God! Journey to Nowhere? 7th?
I think we're in white suddenly. Let's pick Journey to Nowhere.
Let's Journey to Nowhere! I'm aware that it's not quite hexproof. If you target your opponent's dude, it still says target creature can't be the abilities your opponents control. You can use it as a counterspell. There, I've said it. Okay.
Okay.
But, yeah.
I honestly think that's too powerful to pass up. That's crazy. We should reap the rewards of that one, I guess.
Like, do we then pick up, like, Explorer's Scope, Core Sanctifier? Core Sanctifier is probably playable.
It's probably better than the scope.
Yeah. It could be a trap or
Scope helps you, like, do extra landfall stuff, which is kind of cool. It also ramps, sort of.
It's thinking the scope, then?
But what, we have two landfall guys, one of which we might not even play? Nah.
Yeah.
I think the creature, they're really reasonable, and there are plenty of, like, little artifacts to blow up.
Kind of thinking, like, just undo Cleric here. Being an ally actually matters. This might matter for more creatures we pick later, especially over, like, Core Duelist might not function. It could be incredible, too, but...
Attention Duelist. Yeah, I mean, Trusty Machete is the thing here, and we're not seeing one at this point. It's silly.
Okay.
Core Aeronaut coming around is hopeful.
I'm going to call that...
Was I wrong to, like, guide you away from the crappy Core Grizzly Bear guy who doesn't even work?
I don't think so. I also don't care about Trailblazers boots. This is
Non-basic Landwalk, huh?
Yeah.
God, it's so terrible.
I'll take Ruinous Minotaur, sure.
Boros. 1/5 life link. I can't lose.
Okay.
I played Noble Vestige in my single deck.
Yeah. So yeah, basically things are only an ally if they actually have the come into play text. There are no holdover allies hidden, you know.
Yeah, I think like Stonework Puma, which was an artifact creature ally, came into
Yeah.
play later.
Actually, that might be the one that is. I think that's
Like,
actually the one that in here that
really?
is.
Is that in Zendikar or World Wake?
I think it's
I
Zendikar.
honestly forget. I played too much like triple World Wake, which was a crazy format.
Oh my god.
Removal was not real.
Well, I could pick up. Step Links, Geyser Glider, Highland Berserker.
Disfigure.
Yeah, just figure. I kind of want to be the super front foot.
Yeah. Steplinks is cool.
Yeah.
And we need like any fetch land.
Fetches are auto first pick in this set because they're worth like your draft twice over. So, yeah, we're not gonna get like rare.
Did that
fetches.
flavor text say he gets paid by the axe?
Yes.
What a basic literal thing to say.
Yes.
This guy goes to work every day. Okay.
All right.
Thanks.
No, I'm picking Step Links over Geyser Glider. I don't care if this is a 4-power flyer. I want to be on the front foot early. This is important to me.
Brave the elements.
Oh man, Magosi, the water well.
Magosi, the worst of the cycle.
Yeah, by far, even. Like, all the other 4 were playable in some way. Like, even Crypt of Agadim, I think Crypt of Agadim is the name of the black one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, even that one had, like, some world where it was useful. Like, because there was a deck that milled itself. Anyway, I'm picking the removal spell here. It's either that or, like, Brave the Elements. Brave the Elements is, like, also unreasonable, though less unreasonable if we're
Right. It's unreasonable in the mono white deck, but no one's picking white, so that'll come right around.
Right, that's just gonna come right back around. Yeah. Again, so I swear somebody literally broke the spacing in the update to Magic Online. Look at that. Why are there two like somebody like paragraph tabbed? Like, come on. Umara Raptor
Yeah,
Surkar
they set like a paragraph spacing before after value. Or burst lightning makes me feel like we're in the right colors.
Yeah.
Sky Ruin Drake is as ruinous as it says and looks. That's a dangerous card.
Of most notable cards to me are the Welkin Turn, the Oran Reef Survivalist, and actually Primal Bellow. This card can be a beating in the deck. Like, there is a mono green deck, like with Timber Maw Larva. Basically, there's the person who picked that Nissa.
You mean a fool who should not include Nissa in their deck because it's like the worst card?
If they have 3 copies of Nissa's Chosen, I would include it.
Yeah.
They would have to have that many, though, for me to actually care. Like, but the Geyser Lighter here would be really cool, too, but God, this is the best shock. Like,
Blammo.
it's shock that also is like, oh, by the way, Lava Axe. Like
you might recognize this from Cube.
you might recognize this from, like, Modern. Bushwhacker, Skyfisher, Teetering Peaks. Each of these
are all rather good.
Each of these has a strong reason to be picked. Skyfisher gives us more evasion. It
also lets us reuse lands for landfall.
Right, and if we had something like Teetering Peaks, it would let us pick that up too. Am I willing to pick Teetering Peaks over Skyfisher?
I would not pick Teetering Peaks over Score.
Yeah, I feel like
Skyfisher.
I feel like the evasion, and look at this. This is a 2/3 for 2. Like, yeah, the drawback of pick up a card you control, like, is actually a good thing in a format with, you know, landfall. Our curve is my plan. So this set has 2 things going on in it that are really weird and, you know, like, okay, one, it's a very aggressive set, you know, like This is we have some very aggressive cards going on in our deck. For two, like for a set that's very aggressive. Hi. Excuse me.
Yeah, okay.
Wow. Very aggressive set picks, Wrath of God. All right. I want to say most games where I have to cast that we're losing.
Yeah, probably we need some like alternate win condition or something.
Yeah, anyway, the second thing I was going to say, for a super aggressive set, you actually still want to be playing like 18 or 19 lands. Because you need your creatures don't function without landfall. Like, so even if I wanted to curve off at 3, I don't want to actually stop making land drops at 3 because I have Step Links and Plate of Geopede, and I have Burst Lightnings and Spire Barrage. Like, I have things to do with it. I'm picking the dodge. Wow, another teetering.
A shortcutter.
Kind of want these to come around because I want like 2 of these.
Oh man, narrow escape. That's our way out of our own Day of Judgment.
End step. Nah, Day of Judgment isn't worth anything. It's worth me picking because it's an on-color Wrath of God, and even if this is a... even if... Hey,
Yeah, the sad sack.
target player. More important.
I have targeted in Elder. I have targeted myself with that kicked, and like my opponents look at me. One of them looks at me like, I don't know what you're doing, but I'm not like
No.
Like that's not.
This is a goblin doing some rules of nature on this bird. It's this is a fine trick.
Yeah. 3 mana is kind of hefty for a combat trick.
It is. Ooh. This is definitely the pick.
What a bizarre thing. What does a Sunspring Expedition even do?
Gain 8 life, 3 landfall triggers.
That's so terrible. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Cowley Heart Expedition should not be here.
I was gonna say Cowley Heart Expedition and Soul Stare actually. Soul Stare is a double Raise Dead, like for 3 landfalls. So I'm gonna pick the Molten Ravager. It might not make the deck, but I'm gonna pick it.
Gaining 2 life is one of the worst things. Like even jumping a creature is relevant. Ugh.
And we already have. I don't want to play that many.
Well, yeah, okay.
Whatever.
Holy Strength plus Flying. Woo! Another modern staple. Spell Pierce. I don't think that people are valuing Skyruin Drake correctly.
Ravenous Trap. It looks like all of those lands are gone. Yeah, we're getting cross. Oh my god! Holy shit! Holy shit! See, oh my god, that's so good. Like turn 3 on a Plate of Geopede, and then like play a short Skyfisher to pick it up. You know, that sort of thing. It's great. So, all right. Eternity Vessel is definitely not the pick here. So just so you know what the card does. When it comes into play, you set it to X, and then landfall, set your life total to X. That's it.
What a bizarre thing.
Yep.
Another journey. Happy to see it. Sad about missing the Goblin Bushwhacker, but
yeah,
we picked a good card.
Or even like Highland Berserker would be fine. Like I'm fine Highland Berserker coming back around. Kalani Gem, which is like a landfall mana source thing. It's a funky card. I find it interesting, I guess.
It's difficult to use, and then you'll see someone use it, and then they'll beat your ass with it.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit.
Yeah, they fixed the land thing. The land is back to the bottom, but they broke something else in the meantime. They broke... Somebody went check spacing mad. Let's journey to nowhere. Best remove... Ooh. Windborne Charge versus Torch Slinger.
I think it's really versus Goblin Bushwhacker,
Bushwhacker?
if I'm being honest. Because like 5 mana for a 2/2 and
Yeah,
a
yeah.
shock is really hefty.
More honestly, I think well, I think in most instances where I'd want to Bushwhacker, this is probably going to do the same thing, but like give
It's
me
a
flying.
Theros card.
Yeah, that is a Theros card. Like basically, it's like evasion, like especially with like
Ruinous Minotaur.
Minotaur. Like let's just go to freaking town. I don't.
Turn 4.
One thing I do
Two
need is
jumps.
I only have 9 creatures right now. I need to up that. I need more. Like I have a lot of really good cards like double burst lightning, double journey, but I need a couple more guys. So
It would be nice to see a plated Geopede, other step links. Those
yeah,
tend to get picked really high.
right. It's very unlikely for us to see either of
Those
those.
are creatures that you remember. Kaz, why did you? Well, I didn't exile 15 of my own cards. I tried to. It got countered. 3 mana 2/3 ain't bad.
Right. We only have like 1 or 2 allies, but the card is still fine. Also, like Tuck Tuck Grunts, if we had more allies, would be more reasonable. Like if this comes down and like triggers 2 ally triggers and attacks for 3, it's really good. Mark of Mutiny is pretty reasonable too. Like this would actually be a good include as well.
Yeah, it's a reasonable card. Yeah, as far as like, I'm not trying to dodge the question. It's just we're also doing something else.
Yeah.
I was using a deck that had, what is the card even called? It's like some kind of mirror
Mirror-
that you exile your library and then
Mirror of Fate, I think.
or Mirror of Fate. Anyway, the point was I can get things from exile, so that was like a tutor for 15.
Yeah.
But they didn't want me to have that.
God, I want the.
What the hell?
I
Wait,
mean,
Pitfall Trap.
I was say there's also Pitfall Trap here. But seriously, what the hell? Like this is
That's
the
gonna
like.
come around. No one can cast that.
I love this. It's very
I
silly.
don't think that's really a signal. I think that no one wants triple white. Honestly,
Right.
that card should not be triple white. That's not a thing. Or it should be like a 4/4 or something. Like, I don't know.
I'm actually gonna grab Court Outfitter here. Just as a body. We don't need Cartographer. I like the card. I like this one a lot because I play it and I play it in Elder next to Sad Sack.
Mm-hmm.
You return it with Revel Arc when you don't have Solemn. Another Pitfall Trap. Don't really have any reason to actually want Explorer's Scope other than just throwing it on these two.
Right? The landfall thing might not be real for us.
Right.
Sad to say. Sure, removal.
I'm gonna continue.
Dude.
Oh god, an Inferno Trap. Oh! This card's really strong. You don't ever really cast it for the one. But dudes.
Yeah. Dude.
I'm willing to pick dudes.
I like.
Like it's dudes versus removal. Or big dude, but
I think Conqueror's Pledge is good enough.
Arrow Volley Trap.
Well, now you can pick up Ruinous Minotaur and not feel bad.
Yeah. I feel like I want one more Ruinous Minotaur.
I have definitely been arrow volley trapped before.
Yeah, this is strong.
It's like 2 mana 5 damage. Wham! Everybody's a piker. Everyone dies.
But yeah, I want another creature. Is now a Bushwhacker? Oh god.
I like Goblin Bushwhacker. I wanted it the first time almost.
Right, but now I really would like to have one in the deck for the pledge on 7.
But honest to God, even if you just like cast him on 2 naked. He is a 2/1 with haste. That's not bad. It wears off. It wears off. You can pick him up with Core Sanctifier. Not Core Sanctifier. What is it? Core Sky Fisher. You can fish him. It's fine.
I can do fishing. That's yeah.
Very efficient.
Our removal is incredibly powerful. I'm gonna take the core duelist.
No equipment core duelist.
Yeah, perfect.
So power. I don't think we even picked up like incidental shitty equipment.
No. How do you ever cast Conqueror's Pledge kicked? No.
Yeah, we probably never do.
Check out Worse Than Healing Self.
Yeah.
Okay, so we need to cut down like 3-ish cards from in here.
Slaughter Cry?
I feel like we're gonna have to make non-creature cuts. Yeah, it might be Slaughter Cry, like maybe one of the Pitfall Traps.
Our worst removal spell. I like being in the place where we cut Pitfall Trap.
Buddy, let me do the deck building. Thanks.
Nope, it's already over. We lost.
Group creatures separately.
It evaluated our deck, and it's like, nah, you can't win. Come on.
All right, so yeah, like I love this.
Let's cut our like.
Also, like compare Magma Rift to like Angelic Purge or whatnot. The card from current Innistrad. Like, oh. So yeah, I don't really want to cut guys.
We've managed to dodge black. It's good.
Maybe like these two.
I won't miss them.
And
you know, we might decide that like Pitfall Trap is better than Magma Rift.
Yeah.
After.
And now I'm considering if I want to make one more cut to actually go up to 18 lands to support these a little better.
I don't think so. For one, we have Core Skyfisher, and for another, those are only 2 creatures in our whole deck.
The only 2 creatures we play in our whole deck.
Or like, I mean, really, do we actually have any other landfall at all?
No, it's just those 2.
It really is.
I had Geyser Gliders, but I had Geyser Glider picks I could have made, but I picked like the early game over those. I want to be the person running you down, not the person reacting. Because if I'm the person casting Geyser Glider, I cast Journey to Nowhere and get rid of it, you know? Spire Barrage is kind of my Lava Axe in the deck. It could get cut. It's basically here as my, like, final hurrah. And then, like, also, like, Dodge is also a weird include in this deck.
Do we cut Day of Judgment for Mountain?
Like...
Yeah, our lava axes are named Ruinous Minotaur.
Yeah, we have these lava axes, we have these lava axes, this lava axe, this lava axe, this lava axe. Like, yeah, we got a couple. It's kind of sad. We have the Evangel, but like almost no allies to trigger it. We have one Ondu Cleric, which is like one of our worst creatures.
Who's here because we actually cannot cut creatures.
Right. I would love to cut it. I would love to cut that for another Piker of any name, but we don't have another Piker of any name, so that gets to live on. Okay, here's a question.
Would we rather have planned?
Like, do we include Cabriac Crossroads? Like, is that real?
I think we do, because there are going to be a lot of turns where, like, none of our things have activated abilities. There's some kicker, but that's about it. So there are going to be a lot of turns where, you know, we have all the mana we need, and getting a little extra out of your land is kind of good.
If I adjust for kicker, this is like where my cards go. Imagine this is like 6 more slots over to the side.
Bushwhacker on 2.
Oh, Bushwhack, yep. So this is like the kicker curve. But like core aeronaut basically never gets kicked unless we curve into it off of a like Ruinous Minotaur, which actually is impossible because that's trip white.
Sweet.
Triple white.
Impossible curves.
And Core Sanctifiers is actually a really good kicker because, like that, this gives us a main deck way to kill things like Trusty Machete, and there's actually a lot of playable enchantments in existence in here. Like we talked about the
I
Clawing Heart.
assure you that, yeah, Colney Heart Expedition is a real card.
Right. So there are reasons we'd want this. And Ruinous Minotaur is only when it deals damage to our opponent. We sack a land, so... Still considering that 18th land, if that's better than, like, Ondu Cleric, or if that's better than Day of Judgment. I feel like there's actually going to be a couple games where we actually stop being the aggressive player for a little while because we have so much of this, like, good removal. Anyway,
Maybe that's okay, because Conqueror's Pledge is like the one mana, or the one card huge army.
Yeah. I kind of want to do 7/7 basic split and then have the non-basics cover the rest. Two Crossroads is a little... Meh. Like, how bad is that change?
We don't even have like equipment
I know.
for the guy to pick up. I mean, he can be bushwhacked. He can be charge, windborne charge.
He can trigger Career Evangel once, twice, if I pick up a Skyfisher. He can be charged. It's not like the life gain
Otherwise
is,
that's pretty poor. And like our allies don't grow, and that's the thing that you want out of like a Tuk Grunts,
yeah,
for instance.
or the one something blade, the 1-mana 1/2, or Kazandu 2-mana 2/2 guy.
Hada Freeblade. I think Hada Freeblade was World Wake actually.
Oh, okay. Then the 2-mana one's the one I'm thinking. Kazandu Blade Master.
Yeah.
Okay.
Blade Master is a Zendikar card.
Okay. So yeah,
Oh, I remember Hada Freeblade. Jeez. Okay, here's the thing about World Wake. Ally synergy was real as hell. You had multiple spells that could make like many allies. So you're just like, bam,
Whoops.
2 allies. Wow.
All right. Let's rock it.
And like unreasonable stuff happened. It was great. Also, removal was terrible in World Wake.
God
You came
awful.
from like Zendikar, which had like both black and red shocks, Journey to Nowhere. It's crazy.
We are absolutely playing the 5/2 Ruinous Minotaur. I plan on hitting my opponent with this and not giving a crap about sacking the land. 100%. I'm going to play Ruinous Minotaur.
He picks up a mountain and crushes them with it. That's why he has 5 power.
Yeah. I am 100% behind this. Like, the idea is that this is the Cobble Brute I want.
I honestly think the one thing that our deck is missing is that threaten, like Mark of Mutiny.
I felt bad about not picking it, especially with the Evangel not having any real effect in here.
I mean, we didn't know. We thought we had like more allies.
Well, for one, I honestly thought we needed more. I thought
creatures.
more creatures. We're playing.
Yeah, there's a second core, what have you, guys, Sanctifiers.
Yeah.
That pick.
The reason we're slightly lower on creatures than we like should be is just those first picks in the early. We're playing the Boros skill. What? Shit, that's us. God, am I okay on that? That says no action until 3.
Well,
As
4 out of our 7 cards are live. One more land gets his core sanctifiers.
right.
This is sort of like a mulligan to 6 because Conqueror's Pledge is so expensive.
Right. Though, like,
You
it's
can
only
justify it that way.
it's only 3 lands off. Like, it's not like it's actually a mile away. And I do have a lot of interaction early. Oh god,
It's
this
tough.
I'm gonna try this.
I don't think this is a straightforward keep or mull. You know, there's just
Yeah.
a ton to talk about.
Like, one of the things that makes me very wary of mulliganing this is that mulliganing in this format is very has a very high cost. Like, if you can't keep your landfall creatures going, you know, like all of a sudden.
Again, we have 2 of those.
No, no, no. I mean that more from I'm talking in a holistic, like a view
Oh,
of the
okay.
set.
All right.
Like I'm not.
Oh man, the scope.
Oh, the equipment lord is here. I'm gonna play that teetering peak so that I can play core sanctifiers. And actually, I don't want a sanctifiers on 3. I want a sanctifiers on 4 now.
We probably still play the peaks.
Like, do I want to leave burst lightning up?
Oh man, respond to the spider silk net equip
Oh, 2 to equip. It
in
can't.
case they.
In case they want to play like a ornithopter.
Yeah, the ornithopter. I don't know what spider silk set is doing. The spider silk net is doing over there.
Neither
That's
do I.
weird.
I understand the explorer scope, so they're gonna play like land.
Leo Plains. Okay.
I was just saying.
They just want literally any equipment. And now I understand.
Hello. I'm here for the crushing. We play 18 lands too, so the 2 land is a little better keepable in that sense. I'm very happy just for
We don't need like any more lands than this. This is fine.
play a gray ogre. Oh.
Ugh. Worth journeying. God, that feels awful.
Do I just play Evangel and pass?
Do we trade our Ruinous Minotaur for their core sanctifiers?
I'm just gonna play this and pass.
Like, presumably, they picked up the core equip lord.
Yeah.
I can't understand any other reason why you'd have Spider Silk Net in your deck.
So the cool thing about Cabria Evangel is that in our deck it does garbage, but opponents don't know that. And it's incredibly
True.
like this is an incredibly busted, like, you know, like, oh, by the way, my team just gets in. Anyway, I'm not attacking with the Minotaur because I actually don't want to sack the land on this hand. I am willing to block if that came in and like was going in for like a. They're gonna equip the net,
Equip it up.
and they're probably going to equip this Explorer's Scope too.
No net.
Yo, that's coming in? Jeez. Alright, well, let's see what you get. Oh, you're right, they don't show me unless it's a... Okay. I'm not willing to block that.
I mean, they already got the scope trigger.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like we're stopping them from...
This is... Oh, no. Alright.
Then net. Bizarre. What if they don't have creatures?
Their top card is a non-land.
There could be another equipment.
It's true.
Like they're good equipment or something.
I'm considering if I can afford to attack with Ruinous Minotaur here.
That is the question. It's really rough that we have all this action and I don't layout.
Right, and I kind of want to like have core sanctifiers get value, but maybe that's like asking too much. Like maybe I should just play it. Like these are
Well,
the
having them blow up Spider Silk Net would be okay because we want to like fly overhead at some point.
right. Going to two land is profoundly bad, and I'm not doing it. I'm debating the other plays on the turn. Yeah, killing the net is good to do, but like, is getting just a board presence now more important? Or do I just pass and leave up like shock?
We should probably attack for 2 at the very least.
All right, let's do that. Man, what's with people hating on Ruinous Minotaur? It's like this card has 5 power. I am gonna play the Sanctifiers.
Okay.
Okay, you were dead on. What the heck? So if it attacks, I just block with Core Sanctifiers and don't care. Also, I'm probably gonna Journey to Nowhere that card. And also, I feel better about playing Core Sanctifiers because now it doesn't matter if I like, you know.
So he's showing vines up.
Yes.
Other forest. But like with the journey, we could at least make him spend vines. Someone heard that this format was all about pikers, and they're like, "Oh, I have to block them."
Well, I'm going to attack with my 2/2/3s. I'll see if he spends vines, you know?
Yeah, his vines of the vast wood for your 2/3 creature.
I'd be 100% on that, because vines can get you a lot more. So the reason I don't know if I actually want to play Journey here... I don't think he has it. So this was... The reason I did this order was actually to test. If he has Vines of the Vastwood, he can Vines his creature right now and force me to exile my own creature.
It's pretty harsh.
Yeah. But because he didn't burn it for an easy kill on one of my creatures, I don't believe he has it. Which is the reason I did it in that order. There was thought behind that.
Wait, he chooses to do it now? Okay.
Or my opponent does not understand how Vines of the Vastwood functions and is just going to let me have the 1-for-1 trade with Vines.
Okay. So
Okay.
cool. We might eventually pick that up, and that would be great.
Right, we have ways of making that useful again. And our opponent's on 1 card in hand. Like,
They really do only have 1 creature.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
like I can play Conqueror's Pledge on a Plains top deck. Which I will. Yeah, this card does not have a So, we saw in the last stream I did Stasis Snare, which is like the current version of Journey to Nowhere. But Stasis Snare, which is white, white 1, Journey to Nowhere with Flash, is like hyper bug proof. Like, it says, exile a creature like, your opponent controls. Like I was playing the Emacruel deck. Like, I would Emacruel my opponent, and they had Quarantine Field, which says O-Ring opponent's cards, and Stasis Snare, which says Journey to Nowhere opponent's cards. So they really are going out of their way to make sure that you can't, like, to, you know, foolproof your card. Like,
Right. To make sure like Magic doesn't get edge cased out. Some
Yeah.
professionals wander around and slap some children around with arcane rules, and that's Magic the Gathering. A pass. Who'd have thought? Oh, by the way,
Conqueror's
that
Pledge time.
that plane stopped.
I'm going to attack with the Evangel.
They're just core soldiers, right? Yeah, we didn't have ally tokens in Zendikar.
No, we did not.
Screams of the Hunt, man. That seems accurate.
Buddy, Benak, let me tell you a secret about everybody who plays card games. There's nobody who actually plays perfectly. Like, that's not real.
Everyone tells you that they play perfectly, and no one plays perfectly.
If you've watched how I play, I don't play perfectly. I play very far from perfectly most of the time. I play effectively. What you got, bud? Okay,
He's gonna turn some timbers,
that's fine.
and the game is ended.
And the game
All
is
right.
ended. Thank you for showing me this card before conceding.
What does that do?
Death
Hold
Touch,
on.
lure on landfall.
You may have target creature block it. Okay.
Yeah, it has a
Lure that guy.
yeah. It's a good thing
That is the jankiest removal spell in the damn world.
Yep. God.
What the actual hell?
Is this a world where Pitfall Trap is better than Magma Rift?
Yes. He's gonna spider silk that up a dude. Oh my God.
Come on in. Like, I'll just keep making these.
Do you know how awkward our every turn was with all of our like? We should not have won that. Hard to cast Grizzly Bear.
Yeah, double white grizzly bear. Let's move. Let's go ahead.
Let's do it.
Yep, let me do that. All right. Windborne Charge, maybe not pulling its full weight. With all those spider silk nets kicking it. Oh God, yes.
Step Links 1A.
Step Links 1, Minotaur 3.
Oh no, the scope. Oh, don't also cast its spider silk net. I will be mad. The awkward choice between our 2 and our 3.
I want to say we want Core Outfitter because I have a different 3 to play.
That's probably correct. The lands. Oh, the Zoodex of this age was so crazy.
I was literally thinking the same thing of how absolutely ridiculous Standard was in this world. Like, Standard was nuts because you had actual... this set has honest-to-God fetches.
Right. They printed a set of off-color... Or not off-color, enemy-color fetch lands. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. Every turn was like, okay, drop fetch, step links in for 4, multiple step links is in for 4, like...
Even in wow,
the game is ended.
So in constructed, so let's actually go to extended or modern at that time. You'd go like turn 1 step links off of Flagstones of Troy Care, and then like play your second Flagstones. They both blow up. You go grab 2 Sacred Foundries and attack for 6, or you do that on turn 3 after you've played a Geopede, and you just get like 6 landfall tree. It's ridiculous.
Forgot about Flagstones of Truth.
Yeah, that was back. That was in extended at the time. I think it was still extended at that time period. It might have been modern. Honestly, they were the same format, just different. Anyway, let's return to data, and we're done here. And oh look. But yeah, the standard decks, like there was a red white landfall deck that literally only played 4 step links, 4 plated Geopede as their landfall creatures. But if you want to see what aggro decks at the time looked like. There's this other rare from Zendikar, which I probably don't own, so I'm going to have to turn collectibles to 1, and then... You might be familiar with this one. This is another Hypercube card. This is a card we like to call Goblin Guide.
Oh. Yep, forgot about that guy. That is the Zendikar logo.
Yep. Yeah, so this was in addition to like the landfall, like 4 or 5 power on a 1 or 2 drop respectively. He also had a 1-mana 2/2 haste, which still sees like is probably the best red aggressive 1-drop in the game still. Like, I don't think this has been outclassed. I feel confident in that statement.
Yeah. There's, God, like, okay, what's the Kung Fu lady with haste?
Oh, Monastery.
Monastery Swift Spear. It's not a replacement. It's like they go together. Like
right.
you're
It's augmenting. I gotta own a Swift Spear. Yeah, this isn't this better, but it's certainly incredible. Especially in like older formats where you have like Lava Spike, Lightning Bolt, Chain Lightning, or something like that. You know, where it's like, oh, I can play this on 1, and then like on 2, I can play like 2 bolts and attack for 3 with it, or like Fire Blast or whatever. Also, it has an extra point of toughness.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, Zendikar constructed was Zendikar specifically had some blazing fast aggressive decks. Worldwake changed a lot of that with
The printing of Jace the Mind Sculptor for 1.
right. Jace the Mind Sculptor for 1 made it didn't immediately like change the format completely, but it certainly changed how you had to play. It meant that the aggressive decks turned into Naya colors, or so that they could play Bloodbraid with all these aggressive cards, or they turned to they were already playing Jund because Jund was incredible, you know, that sort of thing. So I don't know. I played heavily in this format. This set up through Rise of the Eldrazi was about the last time I heavily played a standard format. I played standard formats past then, like I played in Return to Ravnica and such, but I would not consider it heavily at that point. Like here, like I went to Worlds in 2009, and that was when Zendikar had just been released, or about a month after the Zendikar's release. It was Zendikar draft format, so the draft format is something I've played a lot of as well. So yeah, good old trusty machete.
We didn't see any.
Nope.
Because we didn't open any.
Yep.
I want to believe that everybody who's drafting this knows to pick that one.
I think even our first round opponent would have immediately picked up on that because, like, weird, it's better than every other piece of equipment they were playing. You know, that sort of thing.
Right.
For those, we keep referencing this card. So
Right, we keep talking about this amazing thing. Permanent Unholy Strength.
Yeah.
1 mana for that. Just by the way.
1 to play, 2 to equip. And so you play your Piker on 2, you play this on 3, and it's your second Piker. It's your Piker with haste. And you get to put it on plated Geopede, you get to put it on... It doesn't matter what it goes on, honestly, but it's... like, if you put it on creatures that are good, they become incredible. If you put it on creatures that are lame, they become good. So, it's just a powerful piece of equipment. Yeah, the deck for today is... Let me pull up today's deck for people coming on in. Should be... once they turn green, that's where it should be. What would I pick one between... Pack 1, pick 1, Soren Markov, Nighthawk, Hideous End. I'd probably still pick the Nighthawk.
What the hell is Hideous End?
That is black, black, 1, destroy target non-black creature. Its controller loses 2 life. It's an incredible removal spell. It's certainly no Vampire Nighthawk, is I guess the thing. Let me see if I own Hideous. Yeah, Hideous. This is it. It's murder with its controller loses 2 life attached to it. Which these days looks like this is a 6-mana sorcery these days. Yeah, I was going through this set with Gnome a couple days ago. Mostly like we were counting how aggressive the set looks, but I was looking more at like how many cards I would pick over Vampire Nighthawk. And I think, outside of money considerations, because I would pick a fetch land over a Vampire Nighthawk because fetches are worth like 2 drafts, just flat. I think there's something like maybe a half dozen plus cards at most that I would pick over Vampire Nighthawk. It's that good. That one needs less introduction. Vampire Nighthawk has seen reprint in a lot of sets. I think actually twice, maybe once. It was in standard for like 4 years, is I guess what I'm getting at. Here it is. Yeah, Flying Death Touch Lifelink, 2/3.
Pretty simple to understand.
Yeah.
Kind of a stopper. I would definitely pick the Nighthawk in that scenario. I think Sorin is too hard to use.
I would be completely fine having Sorin if I'm in black, but this is the reason to be black. I mean, heck. Yeah, like there's other Vampire Nighthawk with some different art or whatever. But yeah. Also so Zendikar was where they first introduced, like, vampires in a tribal sense.
They tried to make, like, little vampires that do lots of things.
Yeah, so we have, like, Gatekeeper was introduced. So we had, we had these really good small vampires, like Vampire Nighthawk, Gatekeeper of Malakir. We had a couple aggressive, like Vampire Hexmage as a destroy target planeswalker, Lacerator as a 1-mana 2/2, like better than Carnophage. Side grade to Carnophage, but usually an upside. Because Carnophage, if you're at 1, you can choose not to untap it and not lose the game. But also in Zendikar, they introduced a lot of vampire tribal cards that, so if I go to quantity 0, we should have, Bloodghast is in here. We have Malakir Blood Witch, which was this card was very important in Standard because it sat in front of a Baneslayer Angel and walked through one. We also, I actually think it's not in Zendikar, it's in Worldwake that has the other important tribal vampire card. There was a vampire deck that was pretty good off of the back of cards like this. Yeah, we're waiting. We're in the middle of there's only one game going on, and they're at 1/1. So it actually we have Tragic the Blathering.
Sweet.
Versus Bar Code 16, born in the year 1916. So yeah. A lot of, and there were other vampire tribal cards that got introduced afterwards. There's the black 1 Vampire Nocturnus, which is like if your top card of your deck is a black card, your team gets +2/+1 and flying. A good friend of the show, Drana, isn't tribal, but still incredibly powerful. There was a Kalitas in the first Zendikar that was bad and not really notable at all, compared to the one we have now, which is like Incredible. No one wants me to look at Asylum Visitor. So was this a set that you played during?
I didn't play much like Zendikar itself.
Okay.
I played a lot of World Wake. Like I stayed the hell away from Zendikar.
No, yeah, I understand that. Like I played it a lot because I played it like a Grand Prix that was Zendikar Limited. I played at Worlds that was Zendikar Limited, that sort of thing. But it wasn't the greatest of formats. God, I played Nissa Ravane at a Grand Prix in Limited,
Terrifying.
and I made day 2 with that.
That scares me.
Like, it was like Nissa Ravane and 2 copies of Nissa's Chosen, and I'm just like, yeah, okay. This will be fine. Nissa's Chosen is, like, actually realistic, because everybody's a 2-1, except for when they're not. When they're, like, you know, plated GOP. But yeah, I know Rise was more the format constructed you played towards. Because I remember you've talked a lot about your GP experience, so... Ooh, so World Wake comes back next week.
Is it Zenzen World?
It is Zenzen World.
Okay. They should not do triple World Wake.
No.
It would be fun for me specifically, but they shouldn't. My moment of mastery was a walking atlas putting a swamp onto the battlefield to both give me black and trigger landfall for the 1 removal spell in the format.
Nice. And then 2 weeks from now, we have the return of a format I've showed off a lot, Rise of the Eldrazi. So, yeah, World Wake is sort of the same but more. Hey, baby. Like, that's basically what's going on in World Wake. It's...
Oh, man. BB. I said, honey. It's okay, BB. I think something woke her up. She always gets a little annoyed when something like wakes her up.
I can relate to that. Dogs want to play Triple World Wake. Triple World Wake has, in addition to its basically no removal, has multi-kicker. So you just want to, like, have 1 billion mana for some of your spells. And, God, I'm trying to think of anything else notable from World Wake outside of, like, the 7 rares I can think of that are notable from World Wake. Which are, like, Manland, the creature lands that turn into, like, Raging Ravine, Celestial Colonnade, etc. Like, those creature lands are really powerful. Stoneforge Mystic and Jace. That's all I've got.
Tiny wolf. Tiny wolf.
Just a little bark. Nah, Creeping Tar Pit's real.
BB. I have the headphones on, so I can't hear whatever she hears. It's okay. She's not actually, like, barking to defend the place. She's barking out of frustration. Because if she's defending the place, she also runs up to the front door. But now she's just sort of, like, sitting in place. It's the craziest thing because, like, okay, the dog trainer people told us, like, they asked us this question: have you ever seen a dog that's like lying down and barking? And the we were supposed to say, no, I've never seen that. But no, that's exactly what BB is doing. She will
Um,
bark from any position. She'll bark from like her back. She'll be rolled over on her back and like asking you to scratch her belly or whatever, which is what's happening right now. Okay, you can have some hugs. And then she'll still bark. So that was a preface for doing the down command. So if you get your dog to lay down, which is sort of plop down, then they won't bark. But that doesn't happen in the case of our dog. She is comfortable to bark
in any
from
position.
any position. That's a feature, I guess. Tiny little thing. You want to be part of the stream, don't you? You want to like whatever taste is on my hand. Okay.
I feel
Are
like
we playing Magic?
we are not yet playing Magic.
Our opponent conceded too early.
Yeah, our, they wanted to go to the concession stand like everybody else. It's a popular place, I've heard. All sorts of arena opponents just disappear to it.
Vanish. Now we take for opponent. So I did like you recommended and put Dark Iron Skulker in my deck.
Has that changed
He was,
anything?
he was the MVP of the game I just played. So
Okay.
that was decent.
I had to put that. I ended up putting that in because I was having trouble with the shaman decks and warlock decks, and like the aggressive ones. And Fan of Knives really wasn't cutting it all alone. Like
Yeah.
against shamans, Fan of Knives just doesn't kill anything, and against warlocks, it only kills 1/1 tokens that already did their job of making this 1/5 into a 5/5. But Dark Iron Skulker is just like, okay, I can kill off Flame Imps, things like that, and does a little more. I still have a lot of trouble with Hunter as Rogue. I feel like that's almost an impossible match, like 80% of the time.
It's thanks to this one magical card. They Call the Wild.
Yeah, well, yeah, even if I can, it gets to that point where even if I can stabilize at like 12 or something like
Right,
that,
you keep the board totally clear, and then it's like, oh, I take 5 out of nowhere,
and now
and your board is full of monsters.
right, now I have to clear your board, and that means I can't clear you. And also you have a 5/4 taunt here, so it's not like I can really go around that. Like, it's... what kind of rogue decks are you playing? What's your flavor of the day?
Well, I have a bunch of rogue decks, which is probably bad.
Sa-
There's the like bog standard, draw a bunch of cards, spells, and Gadget Zan, and then Leroy Jenkins plus a bunch of power rogue.
Yep.
And then there's my Mill Rogue, which I totally net decked and totally don't care because it's great. As soon as I'm up to the level where people are drawing a bunch of cards as their thing, is like playing the slower controlling decks or whatever, I'll bring that one back out because it's invincible around there. It's really great.
I love it.
That's probably my favorite rogue. And the one I'm experimenting with now is trying to make Barnes ever do anything,
Yeah.
which it's a weird one because you end up burgling so many cards thanks to Swashbuckler.
I love Swashbuckler so much.
You get so many cards off of that it's like I don't know what deck I'm playing anymore, but whatever, we'll make it happen.
So, like you, I actually also have 3 standing rogue decks. Like, I have a Death Rattle rogue that I've been playing Barnes in, like, because, like, sometimes Barnes just grabs a Swashbuckler or even, like, a Loot Hoarder, and it's like, oh, that was alright. Then sometimes it's Sylvanas, and I've taken to adding Ragnaros to a couple decks that contain it because I just want the 1-mana Ragnaros to pop out and be like, this tiny die insect. Like,
Yeah. So in this last game, I managed to get Brand Bronzebeard, had my Undead Raptor copy an Undercity Huckster, and had another Raptor copy it.
oh my god, I love hucking. I love hucking.
So I'm basically a shaman at that point.
Okay, so earlier today, I went and spectated a game of Kaz's, and I just jump in the game and I look at the board, and the board is the Shifting Shade, the 4/3 that gives you a card from your opponent's deck on death, a Shadowcaster, and then another Priest minion on the right.
Oh, there might have been a museum curator.
Yes,
I know I had that
yeah.
at that point.
And your hand had Shadow Word Horror, Shadow Word Pain, and 2 other Priest cards in it. And I'm like, oh, he's playing Priest, and he must have Thought Stolen or used the Shifting Shade to
Get these rogue cards.
And then, like, because your hero power's down, and I'm like, oh, okay. And then I look again, and I'm like, wait, you're a rogue. Like, 80% of your cards are Priest. What's going on? It's beautiful.
It was so stupid.
Oh, the other thing I
I had
changed
this unusable Shadow Word Horror in my hand for the entire game.
up until the point where your opponent played 2 Northstrider clerics.
I guess it technically did something at that point, but things were well off the rails.
I would say your opponent also had like 12 other power. The thing I have liked, we're back in game now.
Sweet.
The last thing I want to say about the rogue deck is I have a Yogg rogue deck, and I'd like to play first. We're mulliganing. The one change I've made to those is actually adding the Arcane Giant, which is nuts. Oh my god, that's like a 0-mana 8/8 on turn 6. Like, it's unreal.
Might have to try that out. God, Skyfisher on as our 2.
That actually might be fine if we just don't draw the land, you know? Like,
I guess.
I'm willing to keep this one. Arcane Giant is incredibly good. Like, I thought, like, initially my evaluation was it's only going to fit into Yogg decks. It's actually much more likely that it'll spawn its own decks.
I had someone do the good luck, sir. Sir spelled in the manner of Dragon's Dogma. Yeah, GLHF. I prefer to tell my opponent to HF. You know, I want them to have fun. I don't necessarily want them to have good luck. So it's a little dishonest of me to say good luck.
Fair. Anyway, I guess I'm attacking for 4 on turn 3 with a core Skyfisher. Oh boy!
Man, Bushwhacker for no value. How much do you want to bet the other Bushwhacker is going to happen next turn?
I'd be fine with that.
I mean,
'cause I'll control a 2/3.
Probably not. Right. Probably not when we have core Skyfisher down here, but
So I'm gonna pick up the mountain. The idea there being step links will still be playable. Burst Lightning won't be, but I'll be okay delaying Burst Lightning. So yeah, pick up the mountain. I'm also going to be playing Teetering Peaks next turn. I don't want double red.
oh, 1-mana 1/1s.
Oh boy.
Ah, the Dark Mirror. That could have been us.
Mm-hmm. Alright. Teeter them peaks.
They know one of the cards in our hand is Mountain.
Mm-hmm. I will give you that information for 2 life. You can have... That is the trade. It will cost you 2 life for that information. Alright.
Oh, man. Is it our special boy? Come on, cast the you lose the game button.
Oh
What?
boy! Luckily they're hitting me for 1, so like this outcome is fine.
Man, how much you want to bet that like if that ever like gets close to going off, we have our sanctifiers to just kill it.
Yeah. So do I want to
Goodness.
play Ravager here, or do I want to play Cabaret Evangel?
Huh. I think Cabira Evangel can block multiple creatures,
Yeah.
essentially, because it's like it has power on its own.
Right. I'm also thinking more like this will let me leave red up for both Molten Ravager's activation and Burst Lightning next turn.
Right? So we can create our red horned turtle for the cost of one red. Oh,
Yo, is that punishing fire in my face? Oh my god. That is thirsty. That is like one of the thirstiest plays I've seen in a little while here. Yeah, I'll use it. Yeah, give me pro black.
they just really, really want Blood Chief Ascension to ever work.
Yeah. Just, I'm gonna throw shock at your face. Like,
Okay, so it gets counters on it if an opponent lost 2 or more life.
mm-hmm.
And, one counter a turn in that case. And then, holy crap.
Well, that's another 2 life.
I want to draw the Sanctifiers now and make them feel bad.
Same.
That'd be pretty good. How many counters does it need to actually
3.
do anything?
Needs 3 on it.
Okay.
So one more time. I'm not gonna kick the Bushwhacker here. I want the Bolton Ravager.
Fair. So yeah, and then if it's on, then when a card is put into opponent's graveyard from anywhere, you drain 2 life.
Yep. So if they have another Hideous End, they get it. If they have... there's a couple ways they can get it.
Huh.
Gatekeeper kicked, huh?
Is our Skyfisher more important? Oh, they're gonna bushwhack.
Yeah, they're gonna Bushwhack
Look at
here.
that.
I think I want to get rid of Molten Ravager then.
That's fair. Like, man.
Oh my god.
I mean, factually, they had to spend 3 black mana to do that.
Yeah.
So it's not like, oh, they're signaling with like leaving up certain mana. No, they had to use those.
I'm gonna get rid of the Molten Ravager because 1 damage is not 2 damage.
But I kind of understand that. I kind of understand how they got to round 2 with like Hideous End and Gatekeeper of Malakir in their deck.
Yeah.
Those are pretty good.
God, do I even want to Burst Lightning that? I think I'm not gonna.
EOT kill the keeper.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna hold it up. So I want to get my opponent to commit 1 more creature to the board and then just slam this down. That's what I'm doing right now.
No fear.
Mm-hmm. I assume they have something. You don't make that attack for 1 damage. Oh!
They wanted to raise dead it. Okay.
All right. I can't play that.
We're removing that from the deck.
Yeah. I cannot play that card, because I will lose the game if that Blood Chief Ascension goes off. So the thing I'm doing here is I'm actually attacking to put our opponent at... One, I'm putting a Edict target down. Two, I'm getting my opponent to 7 so that, like, I can maybe get the kill with the Burst Lightning instead.
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so Edict Man happens.
Yep, we're losing a Bushwhacker, which is why I did the Bushwhacker play this turn, was because I wanted to Edict it.
Gatekeeper's really good, by the way.
Mm-hmm. So bye to a 1/1, and we take 1 damage.
Oh man, did it?
Oh my god!
Oh, we were wrong all along. The deck would have provided us with everything that we need. Woo! Woo!
I'm passing.
You're not attacking with the Skyfisher?
If I let him get the Blood Chief Ascension by attacking with the Skyfisher... Like, I don't have lethal here, is the thing. Cabrera Crossroads comes into play tapped. So it's double bad.
Oh.
It's double bad.
Sorry, I thought I thought for a second that we had like the attack plus burst lightning for lethal. Continue. You're doing great.
Yeah. So the idea here is that if that Blood Chief gets to 3, like, things get really weird, and I don't want that. Son of a bitch!
It's too much life.
I've got to blast the Gatekeeper, because if that drains 2, I'm busted. Also, if it drains 2, I don't have because yeah, if it drains 2, I'm busted, and because he gets a Blood Chief Ascension. Oh god, yeah.
That's pretty rough.
And that puts him on...
And we're gonna have to cast Day of Judgment for, like, no value.
This hurts. Basically, I can't have him... So I talked about rares I would pick over... rares I would pick over Vampire Nighthawk. This is one of them. Alright.
Haha, we stole all your burst lightnings.
Mm-hmm.
Haste.
No. Check this out.
Oh my god.
That's got a trigger, bud.
We're out of gas, but that's
I know.
Okay. God, Core Sanctifiers would be so great. That would put this guy away.
It sucks because I had to burn 8 points of burn, not at my opponent's 8 life total.
It's fine. They're out of cards. They don't have anything else.
Just play the shortcutter.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, he would only be worth 2 damage on the like successful trigger anyway.
Yep.
If we like held him or something. I love that they're holding up 1 red for punishing.
I know, and I can't play my Crossroads because of it.
It's fine. We probably want to sandbag a land for landfall anyway.
Yeah.
Punishing fire at face. Punishing fire to put a counter on an enchantment that doesn't do anything.
However, it has affected my play heavily. Like, I have made specific plays to avoid it. I've had to, like, not attack with core Skyfisher twice because of that. Oh, good lord. Alright, Malakir Blood Witch picked up off the Grim Discovery and immediately coming into play. I'm out of answers for that. That is... wait, no, I can draw the Magma Rift.
Haha!
Gotcha!
Not punished.
Yeah, because it's pro-white, so I can't... It's also pro-white, pro-white flying, pro-white, so...
That's good.
Anyway, this is the bad turn, where this happens. Oh
Oh,
no!
giant scorpion.
Alright.
Yeah.
Hey, hey!
I'm glad we can ever do anything with that, but
This
it's
is
a shame that... Chimera Crossroads coming out would be marginal, but it was like a marginal include to begin with.
Right.
So I think I think it's worthwhile. Like, the True Life has not bought us an extra turn of clock.
It did factually lose us this game. Like, if I had a 6th untapped lands instead of Crossroads, I could have attacked my opponent to 5 and then kicked one and fired the other. So it has factually done bad things. We're dead to, like, God, I don't actually think we can win this. Like, actually, no. If my opponent has literal blanks and I draw my burn spell, my, like, just deal X damage, where X is the mountains I control. Okay, they have a blocker. So that's what I would call bad news.
If they draw a Hill Giant, we draw Plains. Good night.
Yeah, alright. I was gonna say, there's actually, like, there's factually no way we could have seen that coming, though, Mike. Like, that would have been impossible. Alright. So yeah, I'm actually going to make that change. Is Pitfall Trap worth it?
I mean, that's a
Yeah.
white card that can deal with the Malakir Blood Witch.
In about 3 different ways it cannot. That too.
Destroy target. Oh, I'm sorry.
And without flying.
Crud.
Yeah, like, I'm thinking like Slaughter Cry over it, but that's me, like, reacting to the Blood Witch being the world's worst thing in the world that we can't answer at all.
Honestly, they're trying to outvalue us, right? I mean, they have Necrotol and a way to rebuy it.
Yeah, a lot of time. Like,
That's
twice.
kind of their actual game plan.
I'm gonna bring this in and
So I think, yeah, like riding them down before any of that gets into effect. It's probably the way to go.
Yep. Yes, I'd like to play first.
Ah, not keepable. Cool.
Okay. I don't like it, but okay. I don't want that. God, do I lead Teetering Peaks?
I can give this Bushwhacker on to
I think factually that's the only thing on 2 it can give me.
right.
I'm gonna lead Mountain and Teetering Peaks on 2 if needed. I want to, like, there's nothing I'd actually Burst Lightning on 1. I don't, like, if, like, Vampire Lacerator even comes down, I don't think I would pull the trigger.
Man, Blazing Torch. It's fine. They just won't ever draw any creatures. It gets us bushwhacker on. Ah, glorious.
I don't even think I want Bushwhacker on 2, to be
Wait, we
honest.
probably don't.
God, I don't want to play that Sanctifiers on 3 either. Yeah, this sure is a way to make us lose 2 life. That is factual. It's factual information. Disfigure? Disfigure!
All right,
Did you know,
so their deck is kind of good.
I was gonna say, did you know removal in this format is like like compare removal like now to removal in this set, and it's Blazing Torch deals 2 damage. Okay, I had to check. God, like, is this play Shortcutter Pass?
It's the only thing I can see.
Like I don't want to play that Sanctifier.
Yeah, at this point we've probably already lost. Like, if our
Yeah.
plan was to just ride them down with our little dudes.
We have this, which I feel like it's a 100%, like, they just, Marsh Casualties appears on the top of their deck when we cast, but it's fine.
They draw a bottomless ball.
Yeah.
And then
I'm kind of cool with them attacking here. I don't know what that means. Like, your follow-up must be pretty cool. Is it...
here, Hagra Crocodile.
Crocodile can't block.
Do you want to burst lightning? Yeah, okay. Do you want to blow up the torch?
Yeah.
Like, that's a worthy enough target, because that takes a shock off of their table.
Right. I'm glad with the Plains top deck, because that's one closer to Conqueror's Pledge, which is one of our good ways to get out of the game. Realizing I have spent Bushwhacker, but... if they landfall the Crocodile, do I shock it? Like, oh, they don't even have the land. I'm willing to just take 4 here. I can race you. I'm the one with Burst Lightning in my hand. I can 100% race.
Oh man,
Son of a...
sweet.
Luckily, if I draw white, I can just Burst Lightning that. Let's attacking. I like this card a lot in this format because of, like, again, how the format plays out. Incremental slight damage like that matters a lot.
Wait, you may have that player loses 1 life? Is that what that said?
I hope so? I mean, that's not what the
No,
card
okay.
says. Okay, here's a cool thing. And honestly, the reason I might not actually spend the Burst Lightning on the Hagra Crocodile here is I have an answer to that stupid Blood Witch. Taking 6. Probably gonna leave back Shortcutter. You know, if it's tap out for Blood Witch, I can tap out for Burst Lightning.
Um, what? Oh, they only have one mountain.
They have one mountain, yeah. Speaking of mountains, we are playing a 10-7 build. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a good burn. We're holding it. 5 mana sorcery,
I
deal
was
1 damage is not the thing that we're talking
I
about.
was gonna say also, like, if this card were under my control, it would be enough to kill off real things. So I'm just going to disbelieve that they have 3 points of burn.
Do you also believe that we're going to draw the other burst lightning?
We have to.
Because I think that's the only way we win.
If we draw Spire Barrage, we probably do too. Heartstabber, Mosquito. So is this just slam Burst Lightning at my opponent's dome right now?
Brings them to 6. We have 4 attacking power, and they have a blocker.
Right. But if I Burst Lightning their head, untap, draw second Burst Lightning, attack for 2, and then Burst Lightning their head.
That is a win. Sure. Confidence. That's all it takes. And our draw is plains, but that's okay. Ruinous.
It's fine. I found a way to live, and it's fear. I've put the fear into them. Now, they shouldn't block. The correct answer is to not block. I think I've bought myself a turn. I could play Ruinous Minotaur.
That'd bring us to 2.
Right, but it would give me 2 block. Basically, the thing is, I'm dead to Burn, I'm dead to Removal, I'm dead to Malakir Blood Witch, I'm dead to... Everything I'm dead to now, I'm dead to if I play the Ruinous Minotaur with it. Either way, but with the Ruinous Minotaur in play, I have another attacker.
Okay.
Because I'm dead to Yeah, there's a lot of things I'm dead to, so... So we go to 2, but I have 2 blockers. If they could have removed a blocker, like, I was dead anyway. I just have to believe.
Three empty cards.
Your hand's blank.
Chaff.
It's Grim...
Straw.
It's Grim Discovery 3 times. I actually believe his hand is 2 copies of Grim Discovery right now. I don't know what the already top decked was, but I'm actually quite certain Grim Discovery was number 3 because he hadn't played them at all. And he had nothing in Yard to pick up with Grim Discovery, so it had no function. But it's a card we've seen him play. I don't lose the Gatekeeper of Malakir. I can win around that one.
Well, not immediately anyway.
Look, there's... for definitions of...
Yeah. Got plenty of lands to sacrifice.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool. Just freewheeling 3-mana 5/2s. I don't think we'd necessarily win if he doesn't kill us either. Because, like, okay.
If he attacks all out... I mean...
Maybe we have 2 blockers right now.
Right.
We can't play creatures anymore.
Yeah. Well, if he attacks all out, I'm killing Bloodseeker with Ruinous Minotaur, and I'm having Core Sanctifiers die on Hogger.
Die to Giant Scorpion. Or Hogger Crocodile. sorry,
Hogger Crocodile, yeah. All right.
All right, well, plenty of things that kill us. Woo!
Yeah. So this way, I get to kill the Bloodseeker and can possibly play creatures again, which might be an out. If he has a combat trick, we're dead. If we look, there's like 1,000 reasons I could be dead here, but there's 1,000 reasons I'm dead, but there's still one reason I'm alive. So that's all I care about. Is this going to be Grim Discovery Bloodseeker? I would freaking love Grim Discovery Bloodseeker. He needs a blocker to not lose, you know? Barrage number 2. Yeah! His hand is Garbo! Okay. We're still live to the same top deck, and we're also not immediately dead. Okay.
Expedition map!
His hand does nothing.
Wow!
I can't play that. Oh, God,
well, not until we attack, anyway. Right? He's compelled to block. He blocks with the Bloodseeker, and then we can play a creature again.
Okay, yeah, you're right. He is compelled to block. You know what I would love? I would love it if my opponent used Expedition Map to go grab, like, the blue come into play tapped land.
Oh, God. Flying Giant Scorpion for 1. Eat it, nerd.
Yeah.
God, I think we're finished with all of the good cards in Zendikar, and now all of the, like, 23rds are coming out to play.
He probably should have... Oh, no! I think that's a top deck I can't beat.
Yeah, nice peel.
Yeah, I thought he should have used the Expedition Map pre-draw. Try to improve his chances.
Not when you have Hideous End on top.
Nah. I played every out I could, and I think I did as well as possible in that instance. I'm hyper happy with this game. Mostly because I feel fairly confident that I played to the best possible win percentage, and that's if I can do that in every game of Magic, that's what I'm after.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Barcode 16.
Barcode. All right. Well,
I love how terrible Kabira Evangel was for us.
yeah, Herloon Minotaur with no text.
Yeah.
Which, in other decks, can be, like, literally the most powerful card imaginable. Like, like, you know, if you're actually playing a dedicated ally, if you're playing a dedicated ally deck, it's just, your team is unblockable swing, you know?
Mm.
So. Yeah. Barcode.
No, the best part was we saw Punishing Fire game 1, boarded out our like life gain lands for game 2, could definitely have used life gain in, like, instead of playing.
Here's the trick though. Here's the trick though. I also could have just used planes at any point. You know?
Yeah, no, that's true.
The ability to actually cast, because imagine if I'm sitting there with the Conqueror's Pledge in hand and I draw that land as Plains 3. Like, how bad do I feel?
Well, why is this the extra turn that we need to cast the next turn? No, that's... I don't know. There was no, like... There was no clear right answer.
That was a lot of fun, though. So...
Man, this format can be stupid. We never got to cast Windborne Charge.
No, we didn't. Oh, man. That was a rip that would have won us the game, too, right?
Right?
Like, because
several turns running.
Well, because like I was playing to the Burst Lightning rip, but like Journey to Nowhere on the one turn where he played the Bloodseeker, Magma Rift on the turn where he played the Bloodseeker, Windborne Charge, Spire Barrage would have been enough on that turn. Like, like all that sort of jazz. So we actually had much more outs than just Burst Lightning 2, which is really what we need. You know, the fact that we had 4 other outs in the deck is perfect. Oh, I'm so happy with this world. I'm happy with Ruinous Minotaur. Thank you, buddy. Just the beatdown. I don't know where you went when we came back to Zendikar, where you disappeared to, but it's all right. Anyway, that's all for tonight.
You ran out of ruins.
I did. There's just no ruins left. Nowhere to hide. But yeah, thank you, Kaz, for joining.
Yep, it was fun.
Thank you, everybody in the zoo. Hope you all enjoyed, and maybe I'll do another one of these this week. Who knows? But have a good night, everybody.